Best Irish music on irishradio.org with Jerry Byrne.
I'm Jerry Byrne, it's Irish Radio. Now, since the onset of the lockdowns with COVID and lack of live music and performances, I've been speaking to many of the great and the good of entertainment. Now, my next guest is certainly no exception. A gentleman who has an astounding career as one of Ireland's top country entertainers, one of the top bands and top singers in Ireland, and has been and sustained that for many, many years. Also touring as one part of the Three Amigos once a year, and an astounding performer, a gentleman with an incredible voice, who hails from County Limerick, and I'm delighted to say hello to the one and only Jimmy Buckley. Jimmy, how are you?
Hello, Jerry, and great to talk to you. How are you?
Not too bad at all, not too bad. It's strange times we're in, Jimmy.
Oh, sure, very strange times we're in indeed, Jerry. I mean, this time last year I was preparing to go on my Crack on the Costa tour to Spain, where we had a hugely successful week out there, and it was due to happen this time between the 12th and the 19th of October. And you know, just as well reminiscing about last year, and then we had the Amigos tour, and then I toured with Claudia, my daughter, and we had a wonderful year. And then just since March, then with the pandemic and all, everything stopped, you know. And what a year it's been, you know. I mean, so many, you know. It's the first thing you have to do is to think of all the poor people who've you know lost loved ones, and you know, people who are in danger with this terrible virus and that, which it seems to be sort of, you know, taking over the world as such. But hopefully they're getting a vaccine, you know, up and running pretty soon for it, and you know, it'll make the vulnerable safe and that. So when you look at it from that point of view, you know, at least at some stage we'll get back to doing what we're best at, and you know, but hopefully just in a safe environment, and that all our fans and friends and their families can be safe and well. That's the most important thing of all, you know.
Indeed it is, yes, indeed it is, because you know, at the end of the day, this is no joke, and we've got to take it seriously. And I think possibly in the bigger picture, Jimmy, of it all, in a lifetime of entertainment, this I think overall will be only a short blip out.
Well, I suppose, you know, it will. I suppose initially you'd be saying to yourself when it happened in March, well, you know, we've been touring so many years extensively and very, very busy. And, you know, I thought, well, you know, maybe I'll just take the time out. You know, I have some greyhounds, and I love, you know, breeding and rearing my own greyhounds, and now I'm doing it all now in the way of training them as well and things. And I'm glad to have them, because they're a welcome sort of diversion, if you like, and you know, it's good mentally as well and that type of thing. But you know, we thought initially, you know, God, it's this thing, we won't be back on the road until the end of April, and then we thought maybe the end of May, and now it's all through the summer, and it's October, and not looking like any time in the foreseeable future anyway, you know. So it's a big shock to the system, and very much a change to the way of life that we were, you know, used to, you know, running and racing and schedules and interviews. And actually, funny enough, Jerry, this interview with yourself is, I think, maybe only the second or maybe possibly third interview I've done since March. It's just that I just kind of, if you like, I've dropped out from the whole lot of it for a while to just see how things go, and you know, give people breathing space to take in what's happening, if you like, you know. So it's nice to get talking to yourself on the radio and talk about, I suppose, old times, and look forward to hopefully new times in whatever will be the new norm, you know.
Indeed. So, Jimmy, but you know, you've had an astounding career. I mean, you've remained up there, you know, at the top with you know, with a band, and an incredibly successful band. You've been on the top of your rung now for literally years.
Yeah, you know, I've been very fortunate to to be having a very, very good career. And the last couple of years have been wonderful, I mean, I suppose as a solo performer with my own band touring, in Ireland and England, and we take our Scotland as well, of course, and which has become very good for us as well. And we take our tour to Spain, our Crack and the Costa for the last couple of years. That's something that has been building up, massively and really, really successfully. And then the Amigos, of course, the Three Amigos is a huge success. And, touring with my daughter Claudia is also an added bonus as well. And, I suppose, I've been very, very fortunate, Jerry, and I have a lot of very loyal fans that have stuck with me over the years. And, very, very fortunate and very lucky. But I certainly miss performing for them. I miss meeting the people and meeting all our fans and our friends. And, for instance, this week, we'll say Donegal going on lockdown there and that. And my thoughts, go out to all those Donegal people, because they're fantastic, fantastic people. I love the County Donegal, and I love the enthusiasm they have for their music is unbelievable, and they're great, great people. So I just hope that everything can get back to normal for them soon,
Indeed. And of course, you, Jimmy, right throughout each year, you were playing in all of the top dancing destinations, including the likes of the Allingham Arms in Bundoran in Donegal, and all the other, the top dancing venues throughout the country, as well as all the concerts and all the other touring you did as well.
Yeah, I mean, like all the great venues, the Allingham and even the Abbey Hotel there in Donegal, another fantastic venue, and the Rhinedale up in the Moy in Tyrone, and the Newry, and all over the north and that, Ballymena, and some brilliant dance venues all over the country, and it's soul destroying to see the like of venues like that. And for instance, people like the for instance the Allingham, and Peter Mack, they're a fantastic man, and his wife Elizabeth, built that hotel, to be one of the most, popular country music venues in Ireland, as it will be again when it returns. But it's very, very hard on all those hotels and on their staff and the people who've been very loyal to country music. So it's not just, I suppose, the singers and the bands and the musicians, it's all those people in the venues as well and like yourself, Jerry, and all your colleagues in that. But look, I suppose I don't want to be sounding like doom and gloom either, and please God, the future is bright, and I suppose you just have to say to yourself, how long more will it be before they develop a vaccine that people will be comfortable with, and that people will have the if you like, the confidence to venture out again, and I hope it comes soon. Like the Irish people are great resolve in that, and the people who follow country music, both in England and Scotland and that, they're all people who just love a good night out, love a good dance, or love a good concert, and we miss the entertaining. I was even talking to Claudia about it the other day with two guitars out, and we were just singing and playing away to ourselves, and you just miss the buzz of entertaining people. That's the real buzz of it.
Indeed so, yes. And Claudia, in speaking to Claudia, she spoke of the influence that you had been on her, and all of the things, and I sort of thought she definitely kind of had a little bit of a head start by being being around with you, seeing your performance, travelling with you, and all of that is a fantastic start for somebody in a music career.
Well, I'll tell you, it was great that I could give her the opportunities, and I suppose maybe show her some of the pitfalls and that as I call them, the potholes that maybe I fell into, and maybe I could avoid a few for Claudia. But she's a great girl. She just loves country music. She loves meeting people, and she loves the old traditional country, and she mixes it with some of the modern stuff as well. And she was just really getting into performing when this happened, and But like myself, she's there and she's just waiting and raring to go whenever we get the green light again, Jerry. And it'll come back as good as ever, and probably better, because people will be that fed up, I suppose, of not being able to get out to see shows. That it could give it a probably a very much needed shot in the arm as such,
Indeed so. No doubt about that. One thing, Jimmy, that you're renowned for is you have an absolutely always have a top class band. Big sound. And some fantastic musicians in your band.
I am very fortunate, all right, to have some great musicians over the years, and I've always tried to make a point of it, of keeping the standard of the musicians and the standard of the band and the show as high as you can, because it's like a game of hurling or football or anything like that. It's, I suppose, you're really only as good as your last show, and the way I would look at it is, people deserve that, and they expect it nowadays. For you to have a good show and a good band, and a good band gels. When it gels together, and the singer out front, it all works like it's all like a wheel, and there's so many cogs in the wheel, but they all have to be turning at the same time. And I've had brilliant musicians, and still have, and please God, when we come back there, they're all raring to go, and I feel for the lads. I feel for all the musicians, all the hard-working musicians, and my colleagues and singers, and that who apply their trade, willingly up and down the roads of Ireland, and further afield over the years, and so much talented people bringing so much entertainment to many people. And now that if you like, they're some of them are struggling very much, and my heart goes out to them, because they're great people and such talented people. So I suppose the pandemic has really, really hit our industry in a bad way, but I suppose it's probably hit every industry, in one way or another, and but look, there's brighter days ahead, Jerry.
Indeed, that's the thing, Jimmy. Interesting thing, actually, you're saying about the band is many of your band members actually are, as you know, are session musicians, and they're, they're taken by studios to do backing and all that thing. I think, which is a testament to the, the sheer talent of those guys that you've got in the band, and your band has always been absolutely top class and top class sound and show always.
Well, thank you. They have indeed, and recently, actually, my old fiddle player, friend and colleague of mine for over 19 years, Charlie Atkins, a wonderful Charlie Atkins, all the way from Atboy. Of course, was with the Cotton Mill Boys for years, and with one opportunity in Oxley with the Cotton Mill Boys, and with John Hogan for a long time as well. And he spent a long spell with me, and what a thorough gentleman and a brilliant musician. And Charlie recently retired from the band. It's just I suppose he got the taste of being at home for a while, and Mary probably persuaded him to hang up the bow, if you like. But we'll miss Charlie. He was a wonderful fiddle player, wonderful character, and so well loved and liked by everybody. But he retired recently, and I wish him all the very best. What a brilliant guy, and we had some brilliant laughs together. By God, we had some great times,
Yes, indeed. I've seen that all right. And Charlie really was, I'll have to say, he was one of those guys who was larger than life on stage, and a fantastic musician, really.
Wonderful charisma about him, Jerry. He just, he just had that God-given talent and the charisma to carry it off, and always a smile for everyone, and just a brilliant player, and the real authentic traditional country fiddle player, and brilliant harmonica player as well. Do you know what I mean? So just really terrific guy.
Indeed so. It's amazing, but to this day, it's a regular occurrence for me to get requests for your wedding day continually after all these years.
Oh, sure, what a song. What a song. It was written by Henry McMahon for me. And, it's one of those songs that, I will have to sing at any show I do until I hang up my boots anyway. And I'm forever grateful to Henry McMahon for writing me that brilliant song, And, funny enough, I just reminds me of, being at the dances over in England as well, and that, in the Galtimore. And I want to say a big hello to my great friend Stephen Keller. Jerry, I know you know Stephen well. He's a great friend and a huge follower of the bands for years. And we know Stephen's a little bit poorly at the minute, and I wish him all the very best, because he's come to Ireland. You could meet Stephen anywhere, and he'd be at all the venues in England. He's such a lovely chap, and always wishing all the bands all the very best. And I want to give a huge big shout out to Stephen and thank him indeed for all his brilliant support through the years.
Indeed. So, wishing Stephen all the best. Jimmy, you haven't done. You've kind of taken. You were saying sort of a back seat, and you've concentrated on your dogs and all that since the start. You haven't really done any live streamings or anything like that since the lockdown.
No, not really. I suppose the live streaming thing. I'm kind of. Maybe I'm more of a live person in front of people. Do you know what I mean? And that, and we put up the odd post and that, but sometimes it can be maybe overdone. I think too much of it, and you're maybe better off to dip in and out at times and give people a chance to to see other things and that. But no, I just love performing to people. I love. For performing in front of people and getting the reactions, and that's what really buzzes me, and that's the thing I miss most is the performing. I have a lot of songs ready to go and singles ready to go and that type of thing, Jerry. But I suppose I'm waiting for the time to to release a song or two. If you have a big hit at the moment, I suppose. It could be, in one sense, it's great. And in another sense, you wouldn't really have the chance to tour it if it was very successful for you. So it's a kind of a do I or don't I type of scenario,
Yes, I I totally understand that. It's one of those situations that for an artist is very hard to call, and that is the truth of it. And the one ironic thing, as we were saying about, is that everybody involved in the arts, in the performing arts, right across the world has been affected. This includes the theatres, the shows on Broadway or the West End, every single thing right across the world.
Every single thing from the biggest touring act to the people who do their one-man shows, or the musicians, to even the buskers, down to everyone who can sing or entertain or act, or the actors, wonderfully talented people in the arts that we just can't do anything, unfortunately, at the moment. But look, I suppose when we do get back to it, Jerry, won't we appreciate it all the more? That's the way, and it's. I suppose you don't miss it until you're not doing it for a while, maybe. But all us entertainers are so willing to get back at it anytime soon. Hopefully, but hopefully people can get through the winter. Okay, and I know that you have an awful lot of Irish people over there that will listen to you as well, and people from back home. And I can only wish them all the very best in their families, and we're thinking of them, and that they'll all stay safe and healthy and well, and we'll get through it, please God,
Indeed, Jimmy, listen, it's been lovely to catch up with you. Thank you very much indeed, for having a chat. Good luck with your greyhounds. Hopefully you win some of the races and all the rest in the meantime. And listen, when it's safe to do so, I'm really looking forward to seeing you performing live once again.
Jerry, listen, thank you, and can I just say a big thank you to you for your show down through the years. You've been flying the flag for all of us artists over here, and I really, really appreciate it, as we all do. You're a very, very nice man to meet personally, and and to have on the radio. So thank you for all your continued support. It's so much appreciated.
Jimmy, it's all a real pleasure. Thanks a million, Jimmy.
Thanks, Jerry. God bless now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.